Hey everybody, this is Attorney Percy King here, and today I'm going to talk to you about that Ohio shooting where the ex-boyfriend came to the house and the father of the daughter ended up shooting him 3 times and killing him. The first thing we need to do though is remind you of this video, so we're going to look at the video first. Alright, so here's the video. Now he's about to try to get through the door. Okay, so that video's difficult to look at because we know that he died. We know that we're watching somebody actually die. Now, different people will look at that video and see very different things. As a defense attorney, what I look at it to see how I can prove that my client was within his rights in order to shoot him. And we know that a grand jury has determined that they are not going to indict him for murder or any type of charges. So when I look at it, what I see is the father warning him to stop trying to get in. We see him trying to get in and eventually break the door in. Then we see the father shoot through the door. Now, if you look at some of the news reports, you'll see how the door jamb was broken and how he was able to actually get in, and just before he was able to get to them, he was shot. Now, you ask yourself, did he have to shoot 3 times? And now that we know that the shot that killed him is the one that hit him in the back, which was the final shot, a lot of people will second guess the father. Now, the victim, or the gentleman who's dead now, his family wants justice. They believe that he never should have shot him. Why? Why did he shoot him? Because what they see is that there was never any violence in the relationship. He never hit her, so there was no indication that even if he was breaking in, that he was breaking in to harm her. Also, we know now that the daughter admitted that she and this young man used to take acid. So was he on an acid trip and he was just high or lonely or whatever? We have no idea what he was going through. So not knowing what he was going through, it actually goes back to the father and those in the household not knowing what he was going to do. But then when you look at it from the family side, you're like, he really didn't have to do that. And something should happen. Then you also look at the fact that there's, video of the father laughing with the police afterwards, and the family's going to think, what the hell are you laughing about? You just killed our son, our brother, our loved one. So now, when you look at it, it's like, who's right? And then you have people from the outside looking at it. And specifically, I'm going to talk about when someone black looks at the news articles that we've seen, you look online and you see the pictures of this young man who was killed trying to break into this home, and you see him smiling. You see pictures of him with a baby. You see pictures of him in these great or very nice circumstances. Whereas when you see someone who's black or brown who gets killed by the police, or someone else, someone like Trayvon Martin, the pictures that you saw of them were of the worst circumstances. They tried to find the worst circumstances to paint them as a bad person, such as though they deserved what happened to them. But none of that happened with this young man. Is it because they didn't have any pictures of that, or did they not look for them? What is it? Or did they just not exist? Being that he did take drugs, they likely exist, but we didn't see any. So you're going to have a lot of people looking at this as though, well, why are you trying to paint this guy with some type of sympathy? But then at the same time, when you really look at it, should they not show a person the way that they actually were? It's just that it should happen for everyone. But this is going to be one that you're going to have to look at, and you're going to determine what you think of it. But ultimately, a young man has died. Now, there are going to be a lot of people saying what they would have done if it happened. Oh, I would have shot him too, or, I would have waited. Until you actually are placed in that specific circumstance, you won't know what you would do. Now, there are circumstances where it should be clear what you should do. If a person is unarmed, they're not trying to break in, they're trying to do what they're supposed to do, things of that sort, then objectively, something should happen a certain way. And there will be many of you who say, you know what, objectively, he shouldn't have shot 3 times. And some will say, objectively, you shouldn't have been trying to break in the damn house, so therefore you should have known that something was going to happen because the man said that he had a gun. But ultimately, it wasn't up to us, and we weren't there. See you next time.